are listening to the Freeform Rock Podcast with Mark Alden Taylor.
Hey, this is Ronja Kaminski from the Pinpricks. Greetings from Germany, and you are listening to the Freeform Rock Podcast.
Welcome to another edition of the Lee Gershman Show. Wait.
Hey!
Lee. How's your show? This is your show.
Oh.
I'm on the wrong podcast. Oh, fuck.
Oh.
No, it's the Freeform Rock Podcast. Ah, shit.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping that maybe it was my show because in that way it could make me think, wow, I guess I wasn't diluted from the alcohol.
So how you doing this week, Lee?
Oh, this week I'm doing okay. I have been, listening to music and, thinking about doing some more podcasts on my show, but I have to think about what I want to do. And, the college has opened up now, so it's not like, well, the students are out, and there's some classes I think that are kind of open, but
it's just the medical ones where you need hands-on.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is that the cafe is open. I mean, there's no place to sit inside, but they have outside seats, and some of the students sit out there and talk or read or whatever. So I can still go there, and it's cool. So it's kind of getting back. The campus is kind of getting back into track.
Well, I heard September 30th, New York's going to open for indoor dining again.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so you got some time, unless you get a big outbreak there again.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, that's 3 days after my birthday, so I'm going to ask them, can I take off my mask to eat as my birthday present?
Oh, you.
And then they go, no, you have to leave on your mask to eat.
No, in the restaurants, you can take off your mask while you're eating. You go outside.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
While I thought about that, I then realized I made a joke, even though I was kind of.
What they do is give you a thing.
Joke too.
They give you a thing like a horse. They put it over your mouth, and you eat it out of that.
Oh.
So
that kind of reminds me of what happened when his dad used to walk him when he was a little kid. My dad would run away or like run off quick, so his dad put him on a dog collar and walked him like a dog to make sure he didn't run off.
Dang. I see kids on leashes all the time, and I go, my mom wishes they had that when I was a kid. I used to run off all the time. And I go, but my mom would never put me on a leash. It's just horrible.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Top Secret?
It sounds familiar.
Val Kilmer?
No.
It's like a parody. It was funny because there's a thing Val Kilmer said, well, he got lost in a department store and he never saw his mom again, and they let him live up in the basement, and he started writing jingles for the store to pay for his food.
That's funny.
It's hilarious. It's a great movie too if you want to laugh your ass off. Especially there's a scene with freaking a ballerina. You know how the guys wear tight pants and you can see their schlongs?
Oh.
It's like, but they're extra long, so she's bouncing off of them. Like dancing on top of them in a line.
Oh. But just that part reminds me of, have you ever seen the movie Rockstar? With,
yes.
Yeah. And then there's a scene where he's going to go to the bathroom, and the lady who he spent the night with, the really cute lady, she's all dressed up and everything, and she's winking at him, and she's in the bathroom. She said, I had a great night last night. But he knows that she's standing up to pee. So he's like, oh, what?
That's funny.
You know?
And so I got the Stryper album this week, Even the Devil Believes, on CD and vinyl. Because I wanted both, so I could put my CD into my iTunes, because I'm not going to have a digital copy. So I can, because if you travel in a car and you go to places with no internet, I have this on my Amazon Music, but I can't stream it, so I put it on my my iPhone. So I have.
Oh, okay.
You always have to have hard copies. This is why, kiddies, Because if you don't have hard copies and you're in a place with no internet, you have no fucking music.
Oh, wow.
You can't get Sirius XM. You can't get Spotify because there's no internet. So it's put hard copies on your phone. That's a tip of the day.
And also, do you have you heard both the vinyl and the CD? And if so, or do they sound different? Or
I haven't listened to the CD yet, but I've listened to it digitally. It's probably the same as the CD, but the record is amazing. The production on it is so good. Michael Sweet is a great, and Michael Sweet was even talking about that on Facebook. How people are coming to him and say that your production is so good, that it sounds so good, and he's been producing a lot lately, and he said thank you to everybody for saying that to him because he takes great pride in it. And they usually say you shouldn't produce your own music, but he does a great job on it.
Yeah.
So today we're doing an obscure album, kind of, but not an obscure band.
Yeah.
This is their last album they did in 1988 with Jimmy Jamerson until 2006. They didn't have an album for 18 years.
Oh, wow.
Because Too Hot to Sleep is their 7th album from rock band Survivor, released in 1988. It was a relative commercial disappointment, reaching 187 on the Billboard album charts, though Across the Miles is one of their biggest AC chart hits. After this album, founders Frankie Sullivan and Jim Petrick put the band on indefinite hiatus, while lead vocalist Jimmy Jamerson would continue to tour under the Survivor name, thus resulting in a lengthy court battle regarding the rights to the name.
Wow.
Drummer Mark Dubray and bassist Stephen Ellis were replaced by studio musicians on the album. The lineup of Sullivan and Jamerson would not reunite until 2000. This is one of many Survivor albums briefly taken out of print in 2009. However, it was remastered and reissued in 2011 and distributed by Rock Candy Records. And I read this and I'm going to go buy it because I missed this CD.
Wow.
I love this album, but it got bad. All Music only gave it 2 stars. And what'd they say about it? It didn't give me the review. They could suck it. Okay. So, one thing about this album that was different, I'm just going to give some, when I first bought it, I bought it on tape back when it came out. I didn't even hear any of the songs off of it. I go, it's fucking Survivor. I just bought it. I bought it and I loved it. The thing is, when we get into it, the drum sound is different, and this is why, because the original drummer was kicked out with a studio musician and replaced by a kick-ass drummer. It was Mickey Curry. Mickey Curry played drums with, I think he played on the Colt. He played with Hall & Oates. He played with, and he's most famous for Bryan Adams being his drummer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so this is a kick-ass drummer. I like Mark Dubay, but the first thing I heard was the first song. I go, what the fuck? This sounds like John Bonham. So this is one of my favorite Survivor albums with Jimmy. This is why I wanted to do it, and I don't think a lot of people know about this album because it wasn't very well received when it came out.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either until you mentioned doing this review.
God, I love this record. It's it's one of my go-to Jimmy albums. This one and the first one with him, Vital Signs. But this album is a lot harder than any album that Jimmy did with Survivor. Even when they came back with 2006 Reach, it was kind of more ballady. There's some ballads on this album, but they're not. I don't want to get a spoiler alert for you guys.
Yeah.
So, let's get into this record. Let's start with the first song, She's a Star. What'd you think about this one, Lee?
It's a good way to start the album. I won't say it's my favorite on here, but I really like the opening riff, and it sounds like it was perfect to be a hit. They do this style of stuff well.
You know, I was watching a documentary on Cream magazine called Cream, the only rock and roll magazine.
Yeah.
And I heard about the guy. I knew the magazine. I didn't really pay attention to who was writing in it. But there's a writer called Lester Bangs, and I heard he was a big dick. on his reviews. I go, I want to be the Lester Bangs of podcasting. But you know what? I'm too nice for that. You could do that, Lee, because you like to be a dick sometimes. You wanted to go too hot to shit.
Well, that was a part of a joke.
I know, but it's funny.
Yeah, I know.
But it's funny. Lester Bangs would get on the artists and then become their friends. What's that guy, Cameron Crowe? Cameron Crowe wrote for them, and he said, Lester said, never become friends with the artists you're reviewing. And, and then he went to a party with Lester, and he was a friend with a couple of the artists. And he goes, what the fuck? So,
it reminded me of my grandma who told everyone in the family, don't drink in here. Get out of here. Out now, out. So everyone left, and my dad forgot his coat, so he came back in, and he saw her in the closet drinking, and she was like, oh shit, you caught me.
Yeah, and I just I bought the 50th anniversary of Cream magazine. It'll come in October, so that's pretty cool, because they don't release magazines, but they're going to release a 50th anniversary. I hope they bring back magazines. I miss magazines. You know, for our generation, we love the magazines. We like looking through things. We don't like going to the next page on the internet. You know, we want to feel something. Like we like CDs and physical media. We like physical magazines, and that's sad that you only have fucking Rolling Stone out there, or fucking you have those imported magazines like prog rock and classic rock that you had to pay an arm and a leg to get them into USA.
Yeah.
You know, because England loves physical magazines, so Europe is really cool. So let's get into my review of She's a Star. I said, this comes in Bonham-esque. Like, drums I've never heard Survivor with this album before, like I said earlier. It says, and Frankie has killer riffs and some light keyboards, and Jimmy is singing his ass off. This starts rocking hard. Like I said, I remember buying this and didn't hear one song off this record. I was blown away by the power of this song, because I'm a huge Survivor fan of all eras. Oh, and I forgot to say, the solo fucking rips. This is a killer song to start the album.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get into the next song, Desperate Dreams, which I can't believe wasn't a single. But what'd you think about this song?
This sounds way too formulaic for my taste, and it's not my favorite on here. It's a filler track.
Well, this is like Survivor with Jimmy. This is totally Survivor with Jimmy, with Vital Signs and with Second Skin. Yeah. I like it because I love those albums. I said, this sounds like Survivor, like I just said, Jimmy era. And this is a fucking killer ballad. The drum sound is still killer. So much power. Jimmy is a manly man vocalist. He's like Lou Gramm, a foreigner, but he has his own style, and I love it. It's like, you can tell he's a man singing. He's like, you know, he can hit those highs, but he sounds like a man. Same thing with Lou Gramm.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's not like Freddie. He was kind of a virtuoso singer, but he didn't sound like a manly man, you know. This guy sounds like like a bear, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. And then I love the song. It's a great ballad. That's why I said I don't know why it wasn't a single off this album. I think this is the best ballad off the album to me. And then
okay.
And then we get to the next ballad, which was a single. Didn't Know It Was Love. What'd you think about this one?
The guitar sounds like Angus Young, so that was interesting, but the song was too mediocre for me. It sounded like it tried too hard to be a hit. It's not the worst song on the album, but it's filler.
I think Desperate Dreams would have been a better single. And they were trying to get a hit. Love how it starts acoustic, and then the drums kick in, riffs. Love the keyboards on the song. Jimmy in the chorus, such fucking power. This man's amazing. He is missed because he did die. He passed away a few years ago from cocaine. You shouldn't do cocaine. Wow. You shouldn't do cocaine over 50 people. Killer bridge that goes into a smoking Frankie Sullivan solo. Man, he's so underrated as a guitarist. This is the man who wrote the riff to Eye of the Tiger. And then he goes off at the end, and the song just rules.
Wow.
And then we get into the next song, which you pick. Oh, wait, I passed Too Hot to Sleep. I'm sorry. We went out of order.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me, Lee? You made me look like an idiot.
I wanted you to match me.
All right. Well, here's okay. I reviewed Didn't Know It Was Love. It was supposed to be Too Hot to Sleep. I was going, this sounds weird. What I was saying. So here's Too Hot to Sleep that Lee picked on the Freeform Rock podcast.
Sweat rolling down my hands and face. Big fan on the screen porch turning. Cat looking for a hiding place. Sun sinking but the fire still burning. Music playing a few doors down. I'm drawn to the sound. It's just too hard to sleep. Restless to the street cafe. See what's shaking in the traffic zone. A Coca-Cola and twisting
Okay, that was Too Hot to Sleep. What you think about that track, Lee?
Oh, this is one of the best songs on the album. It sounds like something Def Leppard should have done on Pyromania, but it's better than that. This song has a great balance of moody keyboards with heavy rock and great guitar, and it's awesome.
And what I just said about Didn't Know It Was Love, that was my Too Hot to Sleep review. How it starts off acoustic and freaking Jimmy freaking chorus is fucking power. Where it goes, it's fucking great song. One of the hardest songs that Survivor's ever done, in my opinion. Freaking Frankie just goes off on his solo. So now we get into Didn't Know It Was Love. What'd you think about this song, Lee?
Well, yeah, I said the guitar sounds like Angus Young.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, but the song was too mediocre for me. It sounded like it tried too hard to be a hit. It's not the worst song on the album, but it's filler.
Yeah, it's a ballad, Jimmy Survivor. It's Jimmy era Survivor ballads. The rhythm rules on this song. Good song. It works for the album. It's a filler track, like you said, but it's a killer filler track. I like it.
Yeah.
And then
I kind of wondered. I was saying, is he talking about Too Hot to Sleep? Because I really like that one, and I was talking about Didn't Know It Was Love when you mentioned it. So I was wondering,
I fucked up. My eye went down one song. I went down from 3 to 4.
I figured that
people are used to me doing this shit. So
plus, in some countries like Europe, they switch selections, and some people like just as long as they talk about all the songs, I don't care what order. So, kind of like that.
Well, at least I told people I fucked up, so they know. I'm like David Lee Roth. I forgot the lyrics, man.
Yeah. What I do is I tell people when I screw up, but I tell them a week later when I hope they didn't notice.
Okay, so we get to the last song on side 1 if you have the vinyl or the cassette. And all these songs, the first 5 are written by Jim Petrick, Frankie Sullivan, and Jimmy wrote Too Hot to Sleep with Petrick and Sullivan, and then Jimmy wrote rhythm of this song right here. So most of the album is written by Petrick and Sullivan, which is usual for a Survivor album. Yeah. So we get to the last track on side 1, Rhythm of the City. What do you think of this one?
This has...
Oh, wait, you picked this song. So before we get into the review, here's Rhythm of the City on the Freeform Rock Podcast. Okay, that was Rhythm of the City. Why'd you pick this track, Lee?
This has an awesome guitar sound, and it's the best song on the album. These guys were as good as any of the 1980s heavy rock bands popular at the time. They could have been that kind of group if they wanted to do that, but they had a broader range to their sound. But this is a great rock song that ranks up there with some of the best 80s rock classics.
Well, I think Petrick brought in the pop, Sullivan brought in the hard rock, and they were a good team, to me.
Yeah.
Because you hear Petrick's other bands are more melodic, softer rock. They're not really hard.
Yeah.
Compared to when he's with Sullivan, he's got the hard shit, and then Petrick brings in the keyboards and softens it down and puts more ballads in it. So
yeah.
It's a pretty good. This is a freaking damn good song. You picked my two favorite songs off this album, so I didn't have to add a fourth track. I could have, but I didn't because there's another song that I really like.
And it might have been a song that I didn't, so it's a good thing you didn't pick it.
All right. Oh fuck yeah! Some killer drums and some tasty riffs to start this song. Power. Jimmy, man, what a fucking power and grit he has on this song. And Frankie is going off with his leads. This is my favorite song on this album. And it rules. Has a killer break that goes into a killer Frankie solo. And then Frankie ends it by going off. You know, he's just going off on this song. Fucking what a great guitarist. He doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah.
And he fucking wrote Eye of the Tiger. That fucking, it's like Smoke on the Water. You know, people learned how to play guitar because of Smoke on the Water. In the 80s, people learned how to play guitar because of Eye of the Tiger.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. Come on, man. People were playing that shit.
Yeah.
Over
and I
over.
heard that Sylvester Stallone had talked with the band, and he said, you know this one song that you do, and I forget what one it was. He went, I want you to write something like that for my movie. And they went, okay, and that's how they came up with Eye of the Tiger.
Nice, man. I love the original singer also. He's a freaking great guy. I hope they bring him back in the band. They did have him and Jimmy in, and they went on a tour together. They had both of them in the band.
Huh.
And
wow.
Jimmy died during that. So
oh wow.
It didn't come to LA, so I didn't get to see it. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And freaking great song. And then we turn this over and we get into Here Comes Desire. What'd you think about this song, Lee?
This is a decent song. It sounds like something that could have been on Van Halen's For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge album. The guitar work is pretty good, and I wouldn't skip it. It might not be my favorite song on here, but it's far from being one I dislike.
Yeah, this starts off with a marching beat, and Jimmy's voice is ear candy. Love the piano that they use in here. You know, they have that honky-tonk piano going in and out sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, when he goes, this ain't no shot in the dark. You know, his fucking voice rules. This rules. Hard rock that swings. It's got a swing to it. Love it again. Frankie's on fire again. Such a good fucking track, man. I love it. And then we get to their second single off the album, Across the Miles, which is a total Survivor ballad. What do you think about this one?
I didn't like this song. Not at all. It's the kind of ballad I feel breaks the consistency of a good album with a really sappy song in the middle. The only positive thing I'll say about it is at least the guitar playing has a nice Steve Vai style to it.
Yeah, it isn't my favorite off the song. I think it's a filler song, and it's good. It's not killer, but I don't like the electric drums that they're using in this, or the what Petrick is doing. I think Petrick is doing like you do on your keyboard, where you have that drum machine on your keyboard.
They should have used me, but not on this song. I would have said no, thank you.
But they should have used the killer drummer, Mickey Curie, on this and put a drum sound to it, because it breaks up the drum sound on this album too. Excuse me. It's really totally 80s. Not my favorite, but I still enjoy it. I love good ballads, and Jimmy knows how to sing them. That's what I say about it.
Oh, okay.
It's got beautiful lyrics to it, though. But
I know that you're into the lyrics. It's like you could put a piece of poop on a plate, and if it has good lyrics on it, you'll say this is shit, but it's got a good message.
Nah, I like the song, but I don't like it breaks up, like you said, it breaks up the album, but it breaks it up with the drum sound. It's like electronic shit. What the fuck? It's like,
okay,
get off your
get off your a point.
Get off your keyboards, Petrick, and let the drummer play.
Yeah.
All right, and then we get to the next song, Across the Miles. What'd you think of this one?
Oh,
we already said this one.
Okay.
I got you. I wanted to see if you were paying attention.
Yeah. I'm trying to make you say face, because a lot of people who listen to this episode, they might not have all of their brain matter, so they forgot the last 10 seconds. So
see what
we
happens?
could have talked about the same song 3 times in a row, and they won't remember.
You see what happens when I don't drink? There's my train of thought. No, I'm joking. Tell Me I'm the One. What do you think about this one?
Oh, I like the Eddie Van Halen style guitar playing on this. The background vocals sound more like they should be on the Pointer Sisters album, and the melody and the keyboards aren't quite my bag, but they still play it well, and I didn't dislike it. It's half filler for me, but I wouldn't skip it.
Yeah, this is a love the riffs on this one, and the drums rule. The grit again of Jimmy. Okay, this is a little 80s also, but rules. But the song before was more 80s, Across the Miles.
Yeah.
It said, "What's wrong with the 80s sound anyways? I love the 80s."
They should have something called 80s scrubber, where it's in a bottle, and then you put some on a brush and you put it on an album from the 80s, and you just wipe the album with the brush, and then the music comes off.
And then all the keyboards come out, and it's just hard rock. I'm joking.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think they should re-record Across the Miles with a drummer and make it a little bit faster. I think it'd be better.
And then make it a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
I can't say that I think it would work, but I don't think anything could make it worse.
Yeah, and then we get to the next song you picked, Can't Give It Up. So here's Can't Give It Up on the Freeform Rock Podcast. Okay, that was Can't Give It Up. Why'd you pick that track, Lee?
Oh, this is a good example of corporate rock at its rocking best. When people talk about how much they like Loverboy or some of Whitesnake or later period REO Speedwagon, I know what they mean, but I'll say this group does it right. It's okay to do this kind of stuff as long as the group has integrity and does it great. And Survivor does this song great. If I was someone who exercised, I could use this as my exercise music. I like it. Not exercising, but I like the song.
Yeah, this song jams with the driving bass, guitar, and drums. Hitting so hard. I love it. I love the organ at the end, and it rules, man. Freaking great. Great track. Great Survivor track.
Yeah.
Man, we need more bands like this coming out right now. You know, more melodic rock, but most of them are coming from Sweden. We need some USA bands to come over here and give us some melodic hard rock.
I need to get a long-haired blonde wig and call myself Lee von Gerstenmann and call myself a Swedish keyboard player and say I'm a washed-up guy from an 80s group that nobody remembers, but here's my music. And here I am singing, and now you'll know why we had a lead singer.
Hey, you should do that. Get the long blonde wig, make some songs, go, I'm playing some music, and make another page and see if you get more hits from that.
Maybe.
Make Lee Von Gershman.
That would...
That'd be funny. You should do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, all right, I'll have to find where the wig store is.
Well, you just go to the Halloween stores. They have long blonde wigs in there, like Lady Godiva wigs.
Okay, that's cool.
Or even Walmart has those.
Okay. I'll take a look.
And then we get to the last song on the album, last but not least, Burning Bridges. What'd you think of this song?
This is a moody, heavy song. I wouldn't call it a ballad. It's slow, but I like it. And I like it as a last song because... this is something that probably sounds best at nighttime when walking outside in the cool breeze with headphones on and thinking about the song and what's going on around me. I give it thumbs up.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give a review and then I'm going to play this song because it should have been played. Because it's like it's a weird song. It's not a ballad, but it's a rocker, but it's not a ballad.
Yeah. Was that the song you were going to pick?
Yeah, that was a song I would have picked.
That was actually going to be my fourth song if I had picked the fourth song. So wow.
Well, let me give my review. Well, let me play it real quick, and I'll come back with my review so I can break it up. All right, so here's "Burning Bridges," an extra bonus track on the Freeform Rock podcast.
Inside my heart is yearning, a bridge is burning.
That was Burning Bridges. We already heard what Lee thought about it. This is what I think about it. Now this album ends like it started, with hard drums and power of Jimmy and Frankie. The beat reminds me of when the levee breaks in some parts. Jimmy is singing his ass off with Frankie tearing it up on a mid-tempo song with fucking power. Even the keyboards, man. I love this song. Jim Petrick is awesome on keys and songwriting with Jimmy and Frankie, but he co-wrote most of this album with Frankie. Jim Petrick needs some love on this album too, even though I didn't give it to him. I'll give it to him at the end. You know, this guy is an amazing songwriter that he doesn't get enough credit for either. This band is like hidden. It's like everybody knows dun 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 dun, but they don't freaking know freaking American Heartbeat, Chevy Nights. There's so many good songs by this band that nobody knows unless it's on a fucking Rocky soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it just irritates the fuck out of me because this band is so good. I'm trying to collect all of them on vinyl. I got the original, almost all the original singer on vinyl right now. I have Vital Signs and I have When Seconds Count. I need this one. And I don't really want Reach because it's very ballady. But I have it on digital, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Maybe, have you ever heard Frank Stallone's album?
No.
Sylvester's brother?
No. Is it good?
Oh, okay. It's not bad. I had it.
All right. Is Frank still alive? I thought didn't he pass away?
I have no idea, but maybe. But I heard that he always put on one song of Frank's on his album. In his movies when Frank was alive.
Yeah. I remember that.
Okay.
And then we get into you got Jimmy Jamison, lead vocals, backing vocals, Team Petrick, keyboards, Frankie Sullivan, guitar, backing vocals, and then you got additional musicians, Bill Sinanar, bass guitar, really good bass guitarist, man. This album was pretty pumping. And then you got Mickey Curie on drums, like I said, Ian Lloyd backing vocals, Tommy Shaw backing vocals, and Rory Dodd additional lead vocals. Where did he do lead vocals? I don't know. But
I guess the reason Tommy Shaw did it was because he was sick and tired of putting his vocals on crappy albums. So he said, please, can you make me pretend I'm in Survivor for a little bit, at least until Dennis DeYoung leaves? And they went, okay.
Well,
kind of like that.
Well, this is when he was out of Styx, though.
So okay.
He also
maybe he was like, damn it, I want to be back in Styx, but I might as well do something with a group that sounds like us. Survivor, can you take me on until they come back to their senses? And they go, sure.
Well, Tommy was doing like Girls with Guns and What If around this time. So
okay.
I like those albums. You like a lot of those songs too.
I like some of that stuff. Yeah. I think he was kind of cool.
All right, so this was their last album, like I said, till 2006. Is Reach, 18 years between albums, and this is a really good band. Go check out their whole catalog, man, because, like I said, people only really know them if they're light Survivor fans. They only know the frickin' Rocky soundtrack songs, and unfortunately, one of my tracks of the week is the second song they did off the Rocky soundtrack with Jimmy.
Wow!
Because it's not on a Survivor album, and if we eventually reviewed the whole Survivor catalog, we won't have this song to play or talk about. So here I am playing "Burning Heart" from Rocky IV. You're playing a Jim Petrick group called the Ides of March.
Yep.
"Baby's Gonna Grow," and then your track is "Building Hope," which you wrote to the words of Henry James
MacLafferty. MacLafferty, yeah.
Yeah. So, pretty good track, Lee.
Yeah, he's an old poet from maybe the 30s or the 40s or around that time period. 20s, 30s, 40s, around that time period.
Yeah. I forgot to say,
I think
Hugh Syme did the art direction and cover design. This is a pretty basic cover. Like I was saying, it looks like Man in Motion by Night Ranger that came out around the same time because I bought them both together. It's like, except they have a man on the hill. I think this is the exact same cover. I gotta check this shit out. I gotta look at.
I'll have to find out too.
Yeah. So so he did the album. Hugh Syme is an awesome art direction guy. So that's weird.
Oh, okay.
Because this is pretty basic, and Frankie Sullivan produced it with Jim Petrick as associate producer. And
I think sometimes. Oh, go on, and then I want to say something.
All right, go ahead. I'm done.
Oh, okay. That I like some of Frankie's playing better than Eddie Van Halen. I think that he and Eddie could have, done a guitar duo battle, and I think Frankie would have held up his own.
Yeah, Frankie. I don't think there's a Van Halen riff that people could just go dun 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 or dun 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 dun. You don't have that Eddie riff. You have amazing solos and amazing rhythm, but you don't have that opening riff. Unless it's freaking Eruption. But you can't do that with your mouth. You can't go...
Yeah. Do you know that... Yeah. Do you know that song in the Rocky movies? Do you know Ides of March's song Vehicle?
No.
It goes da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. You know that one?
No.
In the Rocky movies, it sounds almost like a Bill Conti Gonna Fly Now, but they use that in the Rocky movies, and that was Ides of March. But I thought that song is way, way too well known. So I wanted to pick something that wasn't that well known.
I remember Jim Petrick being on what's his name show, Mitch LaFon, and he was making a new Ides of March album. So I think there's a newer one out there for you, Lee, to go check out. Maybe check it out on Spotify.
Yeah, he's also in a group called Pride of Lions.
Yeah, I know that group too.
Oh, okay.
He was talking about Pride of Lions and Ides of March, that he was releasing something by them and them. So he's pretty busy.
I had his first solo album, Trying to Get the Feeling, which I can't find most of it on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere.
And I saw a concert where it was different singers would come up and play with Petrick and sing Survivor and sing this. He even had Jimmy come up and sing with him. And
that's cool.
It was a concert. It was a Jim Petrick concert where he had all these different vocalists come up and sing different songs with him of his music.
Yeah, I'd see him live if he came to a small club.
So that was Survivor Too Hot to Sleep, and I already said our tracks of the week was Burning Heart by Survivor, Ides of March, Baby's Gonna Grow, and our Lee Gershman track of the week, Building Hope. And until next week, Lee, you know what to do, man. You need to say goodbye.
Bye-bye, Mr. Poopy Snoopy. Bye-bye, everyone.
All right, later.
It's a primitive clash, pitting in their frustration. Bravely we hope against all hope. There is so much at stake. Seems our freedom's up against the ropes. Does the crowd understand? Is it east versus west? Or man against man? Can any nation stand alone? In the Cradle, helpless little babe, cry just to get some attention. But say I'm on my feet and don't know what I am eating, die just to get my 2 cents in. I can't talk, so I can't say. If I could walk, you know I'd run away. Don't you know, baby's gonna grow, baby's gonna know. Sometime, can't you see, baby's gonna be dying to be free. Sometime, yeah. Sitting in my cradle, crying for my mama, she's taking off for the islands. She's scolding me or crying out loud and me wanting me for my silence. I can't talk, so I can't say. If I could walk, you know I'd run away. Don't you know, baby's gonna grow, baby's gonna know. Sometime, can't you see, baby's gonna be dying to be free. Sometime, yeah. and don't know what I am eating. Dying just to get my 2 cents in. Don't you know, baby's gonna grow, baby's gonna know sometime. Can't you see, baby's gonna be dying to be free sometime. Don't you know, baby's gonna grow,
the hope for future days. Save memory by the past instilled in all its devious ways. And even though the past has held so little of the truth, yet on its memories we weld our hope and start anew.
You have just listened to the Freeform Rock Podcast. All music played on the Freeform Rock Podcast belongs to its owner. If you like it, go out and buy it. Get your music on Amazon, iTunes, or at your local record store. Support what you love. Support the artist by seeing them live. Purchase their music. The Freeform Rock Podcast is not affiliated with any of the artists or music that we play. Thank you for listening to the Freeform Rock Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode. Until next time, stay free and rock on.